What is up, Gig Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at some big changes that Instacart is finally making. Instacart shoppers have been asking for these. They've been downright outraged over the past month or two, and Instacart is finally making these changes. I'm not talking about changes to the tipping policy to reduce tip baiting. I'm talking about big changes that are going to help high-rated shoppers get more batches on the Instacart platform. Thank you, Instacart, for finally making these changes. Now, in a minute here, I'm going to pull up an Instacart email and I'm going to show you guys exactly what Instacart is telling us. So let's rewind to about 2 months ago when the COVID-19 pandemic first struck. The Instacart Shopper app was in a complete free-for-all. Anyone could get any batch, and this was the best way for Instacart to kind of fill all of that demand out there that they had not previously seen. Instacart was in really uncharted territory with a huge new surplus of demand for orders. People that had never used the Instacart platform before were all of a sudden jumping on the bandwagon, downloading the app, and Instacart didn't know how to fill all of these orders. There were just simply orders sitting for hours, and I actually saw comments on my YouTube channel when I did Instacart videos about customers wondering if it was normal to have to schedule out new orders a day or two ahead of time, waiting around 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, even days to have these orders fulfilled. They were really curious, and Instacart was concerned here because they didn't want their past customers to leave the platform. They needed a way to handle this demand. Now, I don't agree with the way that they handled it because it definitely hurt a lot of shoppers out there. It hurt a lot of veteran shoppers. It hurt high-rated shoppers, but they did need to do something. So Instacart, having switched completely to on-demand, really opened themselves up to a bunch of problems. One of those was oversaturation, hiring on a ton of new shoppers, not prioritizing old shoppers, let new shoppers get all of the same batches that veteran high-rated shoppers were getting, and there was no reason to really, be loyal to this app because you were not being rewarded for this loyalty. And because it was becoming so difficult to get these batches, all of a sudden a bunch of scripts and bots popped up to help shoppers get these batches. So it was no longer a fair, equitable system. It was all of a sudden whoever paid the most money to get these bots to get access was now getting the best batches. And Instacart shoppers were fed up. Personally, I made a video about things that Instacart needed to change, and to my surprise, things started changing almost immediately. A couple of days after I released this video, shoppers were letting me know that they were getting facial recognition prompts in the app to actually verify that they were a human, to verify that they were on the app. There was new login controls to help prevent these bots. They changed some of the tip baiting policies a few days ago, and then today I received an email about changing the structure for how batches were given to shoppers to help maximize the number of batches out there for shoppers. And this is really what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for them to bring this back to reward shoppers with better reviews, to reward shoppers that have been better on the Instacart platform. And it looks like they're doing this right now as we speak. So the email tells us that on June 11th, these changes are going to be fully put in place. That means that we're no longer going to have to deal with this free-for-all for batches, and your shopper rating does matter. So there's some important details in here that I really want to go over. And one of those points is that there are still some other factors that are going to be in play here, and one of those is distance to the store. So you're not, just because you're a high-rated shopper doesn't mean you're going to see all of the batches within 200 miles of your location. That would not benefit you or the Instacart platform. But you will probably see more batches than lower-rated shoppers within your zone. Another cool change that Instacart is implementing here is that they are no longer letting customers leave negative reviews without also providing feedback. So lazy customers who just are in a bad mood that day decide to give 1 star for no real reason, they will have to back that up and support that. That means that they actually have to write something down on their review, which is big because shoppers might be sitting here wondering, customers seem to be kind of flaky on the Instacart platform lately. They're tip baiting, they're saying my order wasn't delivered, I'm getting deactivated, I'm seeing all of these problems. I don't trust the customer anymore. Instacart knows that, and they look to be taking a step in the right direction here to actually vet that customer ratings are on point and that are reflecting the actual experience that that customer had. I think this is a good step in the right direction, but Instacart still has more work to do here, and especially with the deactivations that are going on for supposed batches that weren't delivered. This is probably like one of the most common comments that I see on my channel is people having been deactivated due to customers saying that batches weren't delivered. Instacart can do a lot here to have photo verification to have more confirmation with the customers that batches actually arrived, so that shoppers are protected, because this is a way for shoppers to make a living. And that can be very frustrating, if you are doing your job well and this is how you are providing income, making your living, and all of a sudden you are unfairly deactivated. So Instacart still can do some more work here, and I'm sure they will, because it looks like they are really taking some positive steps to benefit shoppers and not just customers on the app, because it is an ecosystem where both parties do have to be happy. And we all realize as workers in the gig economy that the customer is number one, but also that gig economy workers, independent contractors have to be rewarded. As more and more information gets out there, customers are more aware. They understand that if apps are treating shoppers poorly, drivers poorly, whoever it may be, that they're not going to want to use these platforms as much. There is pushback, and this is good. This is beneficial for shoppers, drivers, workers in the gig economy, really everyone. So we're seeing positive steps forward here. And I'm really happy about this. I'm optimistic, but I'd like to see more work. Let me know what you think. Do you think these are steps in the right direction? If you left Instacart, if you stopped using the app, are you willing to come back after these changes? And what else does Instacart need to do here to continue improving? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for all of the latest gig economy news and updates.